Obey NWO.
You can go your own way. Go your own way. You can call it another lonely day. You can go your own way. Go your own way.
Welcome everyone to the Nerd World Order podcast. This is Loza, and joining me as always, for the first time ever, is a four-way. We got a round table here. Everybody's going to talk about X-Men.
But
we got a square table going on. A triangle table, actually.
Instead of the show, we're going to talk about our feelings.
Joining me is Andres.
The funniest guy on the show.
CJ.
The averagest guy in the show.
Barker.
I'm the guy that just laughs.
The drunkest guy in the show.
Yeah.
And then Abel, who is your leader of the NWO. The NWO is where you're going to try to take over the world by spreading the weekly pop culture news from across different genres, which include movies, comics, TV shows, or anything that we consider nerd. The Nerd World Order podcast, your greatest in poopertainment since 2017.
I feel like the one time you actually hit that perfectly and everything, it's gonna be the worst episode ever. Because usually when you mess it up, it's a really good episode.
Yeah, when I stumble across it,
So every episode.
How can we not? I mean, well then every episode is gold, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, no, as I was saying, we have everybody here for the first time ever. Usually it's been a combination of somebody, but today we have all four because we all finally watched the movie for once. So we're not busy, we're not working. And we finally figured out a goddamn time to record this show because every time, let's do it Friday. No. Okay, we're gonna do it Saturday. No, let's do it Sunday. No, we can't. Let's do it Sunday afternoon. Okay, no.
Fuck it, we're doing it Monday.
Yeah, Monday, and finally everybody.
Monday's been our saving grace the entire run of the show.
Which I've been meaning to pass something by you guys. I feel Monday works for everybody, but this time, Monday, because that gives me enough time to try to edit it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
okay.
We'll talk about it later when we're doing stuff. So,
Doing stuff.
when we're doing butt stuff.
Because we got this for
Right.
Can we do butt stuff? Full question.
We do have a long show, so I figure we get right on it. It was my turn to buy, or I'm the only one that said that I'd buy beer this week, so...
Hold on. I would have bought it, but I bought it last week.
Wait, I would have bought it, but I got a speeding ticket last time. Fuck that.
So last time Andres was here, when it was just me and him recording, he went to the liquor store to go buy some beer. He went down Main Street, Holcomb's Main Street, right?
Yeah, okay.
Right in front of
The street in the middle?
Yeah, the street right in front of the two schools, and it's a 20. He was going 30.
Wow.
I was going 29.
And they pulled him over and they gave him a ticket.
Those are children, first off. Let's start there. Okay.
There wasn't any school in session.
Alright, well, what I found at Walmart, now that we don't live in the Stone Age, is to get regular beer. I bought Shock Top. I don't think we've had Shock Top on the show
No,
before.
this sounds really
Shit,
good,
better
actually.
be
You ever had Shock Top? It's good.
I probably had,
You like Blue Moon, right?
Yeah, you like Blue Moon.
I probably had the best beer on the show. So.
Blue Moon,
That was pretty good.
Blue Moon ties are my favorite.
No, I brought one on that was
Oh,
really good.
yeah, you weren't here.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, it's a Belgian white.
Yeah, so it's exactly like Blue Moon for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I gotta go on a run after this, so we'll see how that goes.
Hey, I could, in theory, join you.
In theory. In theory.
I'll be there in spirit. Hey, to all of us.
Cheers about those.
To his new running shoes.
You know what just came to my mind right now?
Oh,
we should
that's
have a cheer.
fantastic.
If somebody can come up with a cheer, we'll use it next week anytime we toast. Or a toast.
What
I
about
should
just
say.
obey?
I like that.
Yeah.
Or if any of the listeners can think of something.
Wow,
Fuck you and your
I know,
ideas.
I'm not liking the square table anymore.
The triangle table,
Triangle
goddammit.
table.
It's the listeners have to envision this big white triangle table and we're sitting around it.
Okay.
Hell yeah. There's 4 of us.
Yeah.
Figure out how that works.
So 2, it's one on each side, but 2 of them
Don't
are.
explain
So
it.
just imagine it.
You know what?
Oh,
Someone's-
hey, Bigfoot. Good to meet you. Colonel Sanders. I haven't seen you in a while.
Dustin is actually under the table doing God's way.
He has a mouth and 2 hands,
Yeah.
so.
Get to work, guys.
Guys, my wrist hurts.
I gotta take a break. Alrighty. We are going to catch up now, and we left you guys to vote on our question of the show on Facebook. Last week, what did we talk about? Godzilla, right? It was just me and you.
Yeah.
Which was a good show. I like that.
Yeah, I really liked it. A lot more space in here.
Sorry.
Yeah, Dustin's sorry.
Question of the show: what did you think of Godzilla? On Facebook, 100% said good or great. So people like that. Did you end up watching it? No, huh?
I will this weekend.
And then the other question of the show is, there was news that they're trying to fit Venom in the MCU before Spider-Man.
Yep.
So I asked our listeners, who do you want first? 78% said Deadpool and 22% said Venom. So
That's about right.
I would take either or.
I'd take Deadpool. Just because he makes... No. Venom makes more sense for Spider-Man, but Deadpool.
Venom makes more sense if they would have done what they did in Spider-Man 3, like introduce.
I don't think that's a necessary part of it.
I think so.
Why though?
Venom is so ingrained with Spider-Man.
I mean,
Well,
we talked about last week. Like he's like top 3 like villains.
Well,
Or he can still be a villain.
Well, not only that, but like the reason why there's such animosity there is because the symbiote came from Spider-Man first, which his iconic black suit, which I would love to. Well, we're kind of gonna see that in Far From Home. He has a black like stealth suit, but nothing like that like black, slick suit. So I don't know. That's just me.
They'll probably use
Obviously,
something cool.
Kevin Feige is making millions of dollars, billions of dollars now, but writing better ideas than I have. But yeah, that's just me. That's what I think. So
They'll do something cool.
Yeah. On Twitter, 100% said Deadpool.
Get my good side, Barker.
And then as far as what'd you think of Godzilla? That's just me. That's what I. and then as far as what you think of Godzilla, 60% said great, 0% said good, 30% said meh, and 10% said bad. So, and we got a pretty good sample there of polls. So, we are going to run through the other polls of the show. Is it less Seth Rogen-y in here? 50-50?
Not anymore.
Has anyone ever had a Labatt Blue sober? 100% said no.
Yeah.
It's Memorial Day. Do you have to? 100% said yes.
Definitely.
When you're on a mountain of cocaine, do you care? 100% said no.
No.
Fuck Brock Turner. 50-50. Or 50 yes. Let me
Wait,
clear that.
who's Brock?
The guy who
he's
got
the
away
Stanford
with.
rape.
Okay, yeah.
50% said yes. 50% said definitely yes.
Definitely. Yes,
Yeah. I'm not going to put a yes or no question of rapist Brock Turner.
Nah, fuck that guy.
So yeah, if you guys ever want to vote on our polls, make sure to visit us on Facebook or Twitter at NerdWorldOrder1. Leave us a comment, vote on our polls, tell us what you think. Speaking of telling us what they think, Whitney, he has his own segment of the show, #Shit Whitney Says, and he tells us his 2 cents on the previous show, so we recap a little bit. It's gonna be a long show. I gotta scream into the mic. When has Andres ever watched the movie?
Hey.
This time,
I watch it. Hey, I'm a big movie guy.
Except he doesn't go. The only thing he's bigger at is a bigger anime guy.
God damn.
St. Pauli is a German lager. Damn it, Barker.
Okay, I'll give you that, Whitney.
I had a Labatt Blue on my way to Antarctica on the ship.
Of course you fucking... God.
I don't think there's anything he didn't do on his way to Antarctica.
He watched...
Literally
He
anything.
was talking about elephants swimming in the news today. Like, Jesus
He fought a
Christ,
room full of
Whitney.
ninjas on his way to Antarctica. Fucking
Like,
cloned his sheep.
Like, he's the reason, like, Stone Cold Steve Austin had, like, the vest. With,
It was
like,
my idea that
Yeah.
I told him vest, put a vest on.
Like,
Rode
hey,
a dragon on
Hey,
his way
hey,
to Antarctica.
Dwayne, can you, like, lift your eyebrow up every time, like, you ask a question? Like, that looks pretty cool.
Whitney wants the movie Forrest Gump to be called Whitney.
Monks actually, like, pray to him.
Whitney.
Like...
One of the reasons X3 sucked was because they basically combined Apocalypse with Shadow King.
Word.
Yeah.
Or does it mean like Apocalypse X-Men or X3? Because X3 was...
Yeah, it was about
the
killing
Phoenix.
all the...
Yeah, the Dark Phoenix.
And then giving him the antidote to try to create... I was just watching it.
I'm
today.
not. I'm not deep enough in X-Men lore, bro.
Well, yeah, we don't know which X3 he means. Like, X3 or, like, the third
Apocalypse.
after First Class
yeah.
and...
Plus, we'll talk about it. The timeline in the X-Men movies is completely fucked.
Not really.
Yes, it is.
It's totally fucked.
It's totally fucked.
No, it's not.
No, if you... Like, they
It's
actually
an
made a
alternate
timeline.
reality.
The timeline
Alternate
is so
reality, bro.
skewed.
No,
It's...
Okay, okay. If you think of it that way, then yes, because
nothing before.
Yeah.
The Days of Future Past matters. Well, First Class, but
because if you think of okay, all right, you're right. Because if you think about it, the way I was thinking, 1992 was when Dark Phoenix
if you
took
think of
place.
it like that, like a linear
Yeah.
line, then it is fucked up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But you can't think of it like that.
You're right.
You have to think of it as everything's changed once, because Jean Grey came back. Like,
Not only
it's
that,
a completely alternate.
Where
reality.
I was getting at is Michael Fassbender and what's his name?
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy, pretty young looking, right? Even in the 90s,
And
when they're
then
supposed to be
11
whatever.
years later,
And
they're
not
supposed to
even
be X-Men, and they're,
not
like,
even
old
11
as
years
fuck.
later, like 6 years later, because X-Men 1 takes place in 1999.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
6 years
they
later,
turn from
yeah.
like 40 to like 80 years old. Like, okay.
On Twitter, I saw what happened, and it was a picture of James McAvoy and then Sir Ian McKellen, and then somebody put raves.
No, with McAvoy, it'd be Patrick Stewart.
Oh yeah.
Fassbender would have been with.
But wait, didn't
You know
they
it well.
de-age Patrick Stewart in the movie though?
Well, in X3 they did
X3,
at the very beginning, and he was walking, which then throws off the whole thing that he was shot in Cuba. But it's a thing. But CJ's right. If you think of it as an alternate universe or like an adjusted timeline, then it makes sense.
So are they the same timeline or are they different?
Different timeline, same universe. The way I see it.
Yeah, well, everything is erased. Everything that happened before.
Because it's Dead to Future Past.
Yeah.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it. The last Rambo movie, Stallone got busted for steroids in Australia. How is he still alive?
Because of the cocaine.
When you mix steroids and cocaine, you're gonna be fine. Everybody knows.
Is
that.
it? Are you fine when you mix steroids and cocaine?
Adrian.
Kaiju craze is coming back. Loved watching them as a kid. Netflix has a new Ultraman anime and the anime Godzilla movie trilogy. All are pretty good. Abel's pronunciations of names, etc.
Abel pronounced that word very greatly.
Abel's pronunciations of names, etc. makes me question if English is a second language. Symbiote.
Whoa!
Malinois.
Wait.
Ghidorah. I said Ghidorah right. Anyways, English is my second language.
Okay, so we actually we talked about this, how to pronounce it,
It's
and
Ghidorah.
you looked it up.
It's
so
Ghidorah,
we're saying it correctly. Yeah.
And the only reason I said symbiote that way is because that's how they say it in Venom, and I'm making fun of it.
Kevin Feige even said that's how you're supposed to say it.
So
Head of Marvel can't be wrong. I'm sorry.
So, and technically English is my second language because I went to ESL for kindergarten and first grade. So
that's why I thought it went really dark right there.
Yeah.
Damn, Whitney.
Yeah, nice microaggression. Yeah.
You might as well build a wall, Whitney, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, pretty much.
Abel should at least be able to pronounce Ghidorah from the language of his people. That's funny.
Hey.
Godzilla has always had a theme of balancing humanity. That theme started in the 60s kaiju movies. Ghidorah was another planet's balancer. He destroyed that planet and then continued with the other planets, always targeting planets with societies out of balance.
Word.
Yeah.
In the original Godzilla movies, the Earth was being invaded by two alien races. The races came to Earth because Ghidorah destroyed their planets. Mothra is like a phoenix in the old Godzilla movies. I haven't seen the Godzilla movie. It sounds like they are redoing original plots from the 60s. I need to watch these. Anime suggestions. Rise of the Shield Hero. What do you think, Andres?
Go fuck yourself.
Ooh.
Is that a
Shots
plot
fired.
line? Is that a big plot line? The Go Fuck Yourself saga?
Yeah. That's a whole year's worth of saga. Okay. But as always, thanks to Whitney. #shit Whitney says. He always gives us content to talk about and stuff like that.
Thank you, Whitney.
We always appreciate it. We do have some big news that came out this week, but before we do have the Andres Loza Anime Memorial Minute. And this week, anime has grown exponentially with each year as the popularity of various series and interest in the medium has grown overall. With technology allowing for more and more entries to be made, one brave Redditor decided to map out the different anime genres and how many examples of each came out every year since 1963. It's amazing to see the number of anime increasing from 19 genres in 1963 to over 850 in present day. What may be more surprising in which genres have been the most popular during each specific year. Reddit user Midokadi created this impressive changing graph that takes a look at the increasing and decreasing anime categories over the decades. Now we know this is a Redditor name, or Reddit name. Yeah.
Your thoughts?
What's the most popular one of this?
Of what?
Out of all the anime genres.
Out of all the anime?
You made a graph that calculates
it clearly
the
shows.
things.
You put time and effort.
You're Midokaki, obviously.
Tell the public your
The best
passion.
anime genre is none because it all fucking sucks.
Your life's work is just...
I know.
What are you doing?
God, I really hate this.
Stop being so modest.
Let the world know your passion.
Yes.
Anywho.
I'll let the world know something.
This podcast is no place for humility. It doesn't fit here.
Did we ever find a Andre's anime minute of the show?
No, not yet. Yeah, I'll make it.
All right.
This week in Nerd. Hey, CJ.
Yeah.
Do you love the NWO?
Yeah.
Do you like supporting things you love by giving them an amount of money so small that you wouldn't notice or feel leaving your bank account?
Yeah.
Then you'd be perfect to donate to the NWO cause, which will help us create more content and become a better podcast. Is that something you like to do?
Yeah.
Then visit us on patreon.com/NoRolled-Order and give us a monthly donation to help us out. Or if you want, give us a one-time donation. Please go to our PayPal at NerdWorldOrder2@gmail.com.
Yeah?
Yeah, and remember folks, obey the NWO.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of sucks a little bit. DC Universe canceled Swamp Thing less than 1 week after its release. will not return for a second season, and it becomes the first DC Universe series to be canceled. But I feel like we knew this when they did announce that they were going to reduce the season from 13 episodes to 10. Like, I don't understand why it's a big...
Writing was on the wall.
Everybody's like, rah, 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 and I'm like a month ago they said they were shooting 10 episodes instead of 13.
But why would they cancel though?
Well, it sounded like they were... do you have the...
Well, you guys keep going.
I thought it sounded like when they did that, they have some creative differences, which is never good.
There was some creative differences, but
I would think budget too.
But wait,
that is the bottom dollar, and I got that.
What's the point of making even the first season? Because don't you have to plan ahead even after one season?
Well,
because isn't there like a few seasons of actual like writing?
Well, everything from all the podcasts I've ever listened to and stuff like that, you're only writing for that season, and you write yourself into a corner, and then whoever's hired for season 2. Their job is to write yourself out of that corner. Now, a lot of shows are picked up for 2 or 3 seasons, right? And then you can write a continuous story. But a lot of these shows, particularly in streaming, are season to season. So you have to write yourself out of corners.
So I just read an article today that it's going to go further than that. That the DC streaming universe is gone.
I'm glad you guys
brought up. The only thing that they're bringing back is Titans.
I'm glad you guys brought up all these points.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Because,
DC doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
Well, not only that, but Warner Brothers or Time Warner, AT&T now. It's AT&T, Time Warner. They're a merged conglomerate company. They're thinking about doing their own streaming service that would have all the Warner Brothers shit. So what people are thinking is that they're just gonna grandfather this in. What happens to the people that subscribe to DC Universe? I don't know, but that's just speculation because. I'll get to that here. The DC Universe has now addressed those rumors and speculation via moderator Applejack in the Watchtower forum. So on the DC Universe app, there is a forum that people can ask questions, just like you would on Reddit or whatever. Pornhub, whatever. And you can just talk your shit. Well, the guy Applejack, he's the main moderator of that forum. A million thanks for your patience. We understand this has not been an easy time for you as fans, and I will do my best to provide you with a satisfying answer. First, some updates. The full 10-episode season of Swamp Thing will continue to air on DC Universe, with new episodes released weekly. There are no current plans for season 2.
I thought you were saying they canceled after one show.
They did.
But they weren't even going to release the...
Oh, no. They're going to release...
But everything's going to be released.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they announced after the first episode that they're not going to make any more.
Okay. That's not as bad as I was
That's not
thinking.
as bad. And to me, I saw the writing on the wall, like I said, because they said, we're gonna write it down from 13 to 10 with the conclusion. And I'm like, well, that tells you that there's not going to be a second season.
I thought you were saying we only going to get one.
So there's going to be...
That's when I originally read it. That's what I thought. But after reading some more, they're going to release all 10 episodes.
So there's going to be an ending to it.
Yes.
That's better.
That is good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
It continues. DC Universe continues to develop new shows, new seasons, new stories, more availability, and more platforms. We've got a lot of exciting plans for our other shows in the works and look forward to sharing more in the coming months. That's all the information I have to share at the time. Now that you have the goods, we will be going back through the threads and removing the false rumors and speculation that this choice means DC Universe or any of our other original series are affected. Feel free to ask questions in the comments below, and I will answer to the best of my ability. Heart emoji. So,
sweet.
From them, and they just might be a be a mouthpiece or whatever. They just tell PR. And there's nothing in the foreseeable future that says that they are going to.
But that's what we got to work with, so we'll take it.
But to Barker's point, they are saying that it might be budgetary reasons. Well, that's what they're saying that the main reason is. Basically, I copied and pasted this whole thing, and I'm not going to read it. But what it was is DC streaming service in the state of North Carolina where they filmed it. They believe they had an understanding where they were going to get tax write-offs, because that's what they do. That's why there's a big thing in Georgia now about the whole abortion. So people and production companies go shoot in certain states because it's like, hey, you come shoot your movie here, we'll give you a $40 million tax break. Well, that's what they thought they were getting in North Carolina, when it turns out that they didn't get it, and that budget ballooned by $40 million because they had to add the extra $40 million in tax when they thought, okay, we're only going to get taxed $40 million, and they ended up getting taxed $80 million. So then when they realized that they weren't going to get those $40 million, they shut down production. because then it's like $40 million per episode or something like that. So the 3 episodes times $40 million, it's a lot of money. Yeah. So, and then there was pushback from North Carolina saying that no, they understood the terms of the contract and they knew that this is how whatever. So there's a he said she said kind of thing.
This is probably going to end in a lawsuit.
Probably. So yeah, they were planning on 13 episodes moving forward or whatever, and then they cut it down to 10, and then they just cut their losses because they were going to lose money on the season anyways. So that's what that is.
Well, this whole endeavor is losing money.
Bro,
probably.
just sell your
the DC universe
right now,
or the Swamp Thing.
Sell
universe.
DC to fucking Disney. Fuck, who cares?
I care. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. I'm not ready for that.
But at the same time, DC's just they're that person that keeps like fucking up.
Wait, could they do that though?
I would say this is the one thing they've done right. This is
the DC streaming service.
Yeah,
but they're doing it right in the wrong reasons. Like,
what do you? How so?
So they're trying to, they're trying to rival Marvel and everything. That,
but like, good fucking.
I think they're pretty much out of that.
But exactly, it's just like you can't just do your own thing.
What do you want them to do? They're doing their own thing.
Well, they're fucking up in the movies.
Not of recently.
I think they rebounded on that.
Okay, with the exception of a couple things, but for the most part, their box office isn't like Marvel's, and I feel like their streaming service isn't like any others and everything. And Disney Plus, as soon as theirs come out,
DC's streaming service is probably the best thing they've done in the history of DC.
Sorry, DC has Batman.
I mean, like I said, Batman.
But like I said,
except for like comics,
they're about to cancel that. So they've only been.
No, they're not.
But let's. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Let's say they do, right?
Of course.
That wouldn't be upsetting.
Of course, Abel plays devil.
But they're not gonna cancel it because I think it was a failure. They're gonna cancel it because Time Warner and AT&T see it as the bottom line. Why have 2 different streaming services when you can just have one? Yeah, I think ultimately it's not going to be indicative of whether it was a success or a failure. I think it's more indicative of it's just
more efficient.
More efficient, and what's the word? When you work within the company, doesn't matter. But yeah,
synergy.
Synergy, yeah. They're gonna try to do some synergy here and just have one. Why would you want people to pay? What do we pay? $70 a year or whatever, $80 a year, and then another $100 a year when you can just combine that and get the same shit. If they move Titans to season 4 or 5 or whatever to the Warner Brothers streaming service,
I'd be okay with that as long as they keep that. That's a great app.
I think so too.
App, it's awesome.
Have you been reading the?
Yeah. It's a really good app. Yeah. I would like them to keep semblance of that.
Me too. And not only that, because I do have some homerism behind it. Like DC was the first one to do their own thing as far as specialty
trendsetters on this.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
This is the one and only area in which they've led actually in recent years.
As far as entertainment and TV movies, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I absolutely agree. So
I'm proud of DC for this, to be honest, and I hope they keep it going.
Same. Speaking of DC, Warner Brothers Studio Chairman Toby Emmerich says the DC Films side of its slate will be filmmaker driven, following hits steered by Patty Jenkins and James Wan through the success of Wonder Woman and Aquaman. Comscore senior media analyst Paul, not even going to pronounce that name, told CNBC he expects Warner Brothers to mostly steer clear of Marvel studio-like crossovers in favor of standalone movies. So it's kind of like what we've been kind of talking about as of late, where they're just going to do universe-adjacent movies rather than trying to connect them linearly or whatever. So what do you think of that? Do you like where they're going, where they're just going to release a Shazam 1, Shazam 2? And I see your face, and I understand why you're trying to do this, because Endgame was such an epic thing, right? But you can have it the other way too, where it's like they built this universe, but why not just tell individual stories?
So what they should have done in the first place. Look at Marvel. They made all these solo movies, and then later on team-up movies. DC tried to rush it, team-up movies way too fast, and look at that. We got Justice League and Batman vs Superman. So I think what they need to do, restart everything, solo movies, and then you can have your team-up movies. So simple.
I don't know. It's too late in the game to reboot everything.
No way. Never too late.
It is too
Never
late.
too late.
They're gonna run out of stories that keep fucking rebooting everything. You just keep going. I think they're doing the right thing, probably, honestly. And you leave yourself open to team ups later. I think you build solos now, and I think they're doing the right thing.
I'm so confused with
They're not ruling out the possibility of.
No. It's just for now, because they're concentrating on Wonder Woman, on Aquaman, on Shazam.
Which
they're gonna.
That's a good thing.
The only team up movie they can think of that's coming up in the next couple of years or so is that
Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey movie that has Harley Quinn and all that, but that's different.
Suicide Squad 2.
Well, so
and then
God, Suicide Squad 2.
So I'm actually excited for that.
So with the Pattinson movie coming in 2 years,
not part.
So it's not a part of anything.
No.
It's its own kind of like Nolan thing.
Well, and also there's a report too that DC is going to do 2 different universes. Which so you're gonna have one universe of.
So there could be 2 Batmans.
So Robert Pattinson's the Batman's gonna be in one universe, and then Joaquin Phoenix's Joker's in another universe.
You know,
totally different. Universe.
You know what would be dope though is if I don't know how you can mainstream this or whatever, but DC out of the two main comic book universes, Marvel and DC, DC's known for their multiverse, right? So there's like an evil Batman. There's a Batman that looks like the Green Lantern. There's there's a Superman that landed in Russia.
The Batman who laughs.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a bunch of stuff that you can do. It'd be cool if they find a way to explain that all these movies are across the 52 different multiverses, and they create like this final. And this could take years, dude. Like years. But at the end, there's like 4 Batman. There's like, dude, like, could you imagine?
Probably longer than 10 years.
Well, you just explain like
every Batman shows up like Michael Keaton.
Yeah, dude, I'm saying
that'd
like.
Be kinda cool.
You explain that all these movies took place in their own universe. There's 52 different universes in the Marvel DC galaxy or whatever.
That would take
the Batman.
But I'm saying, right?
That would take vision and leadership and 2 things.
Dude, that's like literally like that's literally
like
right
now. goddammit, you heard my idea, DC.
That's literally
you guys
like
don't all see it on this side of the table, but his boner is so erect from like.
The table did move on.
You know what would be dope? Another Batman where like remember that there's a. Like a Elseworld story where like instead of like Bruce Wayne being Batman, it's Clark Kent as Batman.
Yeah.
And he's raised like with the Waynes instead of Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
But back to what Abel was talking about, if they were to do that, how amazing would that be? That could trump Endgame.
Fuck you, Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get 4 Batmans, you get like all the different Green Lanterns.
You get all the evil Jokers.
You get everything in one movie.
Dude,
good Lord,
I have no confidence in DC.
Spooge buckets will have to be provided by the
dude. That's $1 billion budget.
Dude, I'm saying, I'm gonna fucking put this in a cassette tape. If you guys have cassette tape players, send it to Hollywood.
They probably do.
Send it to Hollywood, and then you're gonna listen to this goddamn idea, and you're gonna hire me for this multiverse idea universe thing.
They're gonna look at it and be like, "Does anybody have a cassette player?" Wait, when did they stop making things?
So wait, it's some Gen Y or what the fuck is this?
Wait, so are you
Does
sure?
Does anybody have a Betamax?
Are you sure Pattinson isn't in the universe at all?
From all the reports I've read, now.
So you're saying Ben Affleck can still be Batman?
Technically yes, but he's out. He wants out.
Maybe Pattinson's part of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
No, that wouldn't make sense though, because
there's already
once he's older, he'd be like 80 years old.
Yeah. You never know.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, but yeah. Fleetwood Mac isn't the only one with rumors. The next big villain rumor.
I listened to that album yesterday.
Dude, how good is that album, right?
It's really good.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I figured out my intro song.
That's crazy. Why is that? That's so random, though, that I would listen to that yesterday and you'd bring it up today.
Because, dude...
Is that a crazy coincidence? Poll question.
Well, because I went through... Like, I always go through a Fleetwood Mac thing, like, at least once a year, but it just happened, like, a month ago, so...
What happened yesterday?
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, this will be my what we're watching, what are we reading, but I watched Rocky Man yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Such a good movie, dude. The Elton John...
I'm probably not going to watch it, but...
No, it's fine. Anyways, but so what I'm going with that is now...
Just because it sounds like a musical. Right? It is a musical.
It is kind of a musical.
That's
are they
no, but I want... What I heard Greg Cody. But he said it's not really about Elton John's life as much as it is, like, trying to play Elton John songs. Like... Which I would rather watch a movie about his life. That seems more interesting.
No, it is about his life. I learned a lot of things about Elton John that I never knew. Like Elton John, it was a child prodigy with music. The very first time he ever picked up a piano, but he played a piano.
Yeah.
Ah, I'm so strong.
He's also the strongest man alive.
Yeah, no.
Then he goes on
I think you're talking about Bruce Banner.
Yeah, no. The very first time he heard or saw piano and he heard somebody play, he played that exact same song. From ear, never having played the piano before, but and that's amazing. But what I never learned is he never wrote any of his songs as far as like lyrics, and the guy just like his writing partner till this day, he'll just give him like a poem or a lyrics or whatever, and he'll just like instantaneously like write the music to it.
That's
really cool.
That is fucking cool.
You know there's a thing called for that?
What?
It's called perfect pitch.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Elton John has perfect pitch?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, and then, like, dude, and then I knew he was, like, into drugs and stuff, but, like, dude.
I didn't know that, actually. I had no idea.
Dude, I'm telling you that, so Greg Cody can suck my balls, that's what I'm saying.
Can Greg Cody suck Abel's balls?
But no.
Anybody back in that, like, era, like, everybody was doing drugs.
Yeah.
Like, if you weren't, then you weren't a popular musician, you know?
But,
come on now.
But yes, it's that type of movie is what we call a jukebox musical, where... Because the songs aren't necessarily chronological, but they're used as a tool to move the plot along.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Maybe it is. Maybe I will watch it then.
It's good. You can wait for it to Redbox if you want to, but it's worth a watch.
I love Elton John.
Can we go watch Bohemian Rhapsody?
Nah.
Fuck off.
Anywho.
Honestly, it's part of that I didn't want to watch Rocketman. It felt like...
No. Like, they're already saying that if Bohemian Rhapsody was able to win all those Oscars, like, there's no reason why Rocketman can, because it's a far superior movie.
Cool.
Doubt
Alright, you know what? I'll give it a shot.
Back to the topic.
Last thing, obviously Queen's a better artist, but the better movie is Rocketman.
Doubt that very much.
Is that obvious?
I love Elton John.
Poll question.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah, poll question.
Elton John or Queen?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Queen.
Okay.
Anyway, I would say Elton John or Queen.
Oh, man.
Michael Jackson.
Where did this start? Oh, Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm pushing on that because I like Queen and Elton John. So.
They're not the only ones with rumors. The rumor that's going around that the next big villain is the Thanos of the next phase of Marvel is Norman Osborn. And there's kind of talks about that.
Fuck. Are you shitting me?
That's what the rumor is.
No, I was listening to your show last week, and you guys were talking about Keanu Reeves, and I talked to him about this. Dude, Keanu Reeves should be the next Doctor Doom.
Dude,
he'd be a great Doctor Doom.
He'd be an okay...
No.
Why not?
Dude,
why couldn't he be Norman Osborn?
There's a whole thing with Keanu Reeves. He's going to be the next
Cyberpunk? Dude, that's
good. Yeah,
it's
a video game.
He was at E3.
Yeah. So, anyways, YouTube personality Grace Randolph indicated that Osborn would be referenced in Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yes, and I told you.
You have to.
Based on the details heard from initial test screenings were released. However, it should be noted that Randolph herself was adamant that Dark Phoenix would never be released in theaters because Marvel Studios and Disney fans were not fans of the finished product. So she's been wrong before. So.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Alita Battle Angel was the reason why they had to push it back. And then Endgame was another reason why they had to push back.
And there's a reason why that's a completely different ending, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
But to me, he doesn't seem grandiose enough to be the next big... Because Spider-Man himself can take him down, you know what I mean? So.
Unless he's like John Wick. You know,
maybe they make him that way.
Well, the reason why they speculate that is because, like... in the trailer, there's like a scene where like he's swinging in New York, and in the background you can see the old Avengers Tower being rebuilt. And so they think that's the Oscorp.
I would think John Wick, like against the whole like end scene and everything like that. He has like 3 cuts and everybody's dead.
All right, you got me excited for Doctor Doom.
I still say he should be either.
Keanu Reeves needs to be Doctor Doom.
No,
Doctor Doom needs
Moon Knight. Moon Knight or Nova, one of those two.
Ooh, Moon Knight. Even though he's a ripoff of Batman, he's a really good character.
Fuck it, dude. After John Wick, yeah, he'd be a perfect Moon Knight.
But
the only Moon Knight is Tommy from fucking Power Rangers.
Oh, he could be Moon Knight.
Jason David Frank.
He's the only Moon Knight.
No, he would be a great villain.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy about the Power Rangers? None of them ever took off, like with their careers in acting. Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
It is weird.
None of them ever took off on acting.
You know what I think?
I thought about that the other day.
Like, is it weird that no Power Ranger actor careers?
You know what I think is the weirdest thing? Actually,
most of them are in jail
or dead.
You know what I think is the weirdest thing is remember Even Stevens. They were. I think I've told you this before. They were trying to make a big push. Disney was. They were trying to make a big push for the girl.
Christy Carlson Romano.
Yeah, for her to be the big star. So they were doing music.
She had like music videos and shit.
Yeah, she was like singing, and they were doing all of the Disney movies and stuff. Shia LaBeouf's the one that came out to be the big star. You know,
dude, he really was. Yeah, and he's fucked up.
Hey, whatever, man. For his art.
That's awesome.
The other rumor they had is reportedly they're planning a Fantastic Four movie in 2020.
And you know who should be Richard? John Krasinski should be Reed Richards.
And they're saying his wife,
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt should be Mrs. Fantastic.
Nah.
But if you look at the comics for the new Fantastic Four, they made it so like when he's in A Quiet Place and everything, it looks just like him.
Really?
So I think it's hinting like, do you guys like this?
Because
John Krasinski.
And look, he was supposed to be Captain America.
You know who Keanu Reeves would be better than a Doctor Doom is Mr. Fantastic. I think.
No. He's a Doctor Doom to me, bro.
Keanu Reeves can play whatever the fuck
I feel like
he needs to take advantage of it right now. This Keanu
bro, have you seen the?
There is no Keanu Renaissance. It's been a career of Keanu.
Dude, one of the most.
He said it himself.
He's wrong. Dude, one of the most
He's at speed.
One of the most miscasting ever in the movie ever was the first guy who played Doctor Doom. What's his name again?
Oh, the dude from Nip Tuck?
Yeah, that guy was the worst Doctor Doom.
Oh, he was Caecilius from Doctor Strange, right?
No.
I thought it was the same guy.
No, that's a different guy.
No, but because he's from Nip Tuck.
I just know from Nip Tuck.
That guy was the worst casting. He was the worst casting in a movie, super movie ever.
Not very good.
As Doctor Doom.
The second one, the reboot.
Oh god,
that was worse.
Don't even get me started.
He was like some blogger that got his feelings hurt or whatever, some hacker. Yeah, it was bad. Anyways, the rumor comes courtesy of Geeks Worldwide, which states that Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige are planning to put the first family back on the big screen in 2020. But also, Peyton Reed, who directed the 2 Ant-Man movies, he has always pitched a Fantastic Four movie, so they think that he might get it. So I don't know.
2020, they better start shit now.
But with that being said, Roger Wardell, he's that random Twitter insider, that Marvel insider. He has like no picture. He has like a blank Abby. Everything he's predicted to this point from Marvel has been right. He tweeted out very specific details about Endgame. I never read them because I was trying to avoid them, but they were right. They ended up being right. So
and what is he? And he's saying
he's saying no. Everybody's saying they will. He's the one debunking. He's like, no, it's not gonna happen.
He's also the same guy that leaked the end credit scene to Spider-Man. I think so.
Oh really?
Well, fuck that guy, then.
And if it's true, holy shit. It's gonna be dope.
Oh, hey.
No,
I'm not gonna say it, but wait till Spider-Man.
He tweeted, Fantastic Four rumor that's going around is totally false. They have enough on their plate already, so.
I believe that, honestly. I do.
What the fuck do they have? Nothing.
They got a lot.
They have right now they're basically...
The Eternals?
Right now, basically, the reason I think he says that is right now they're at a point where they have to shape this to the next thing. And that's transition.
Yeah, they're exactly. They're very malleable.
It's gonna take a while for them to do that.
Well, but it's like a tread carefully situation. Let's take our time and fucking build, like plan it out, not just rush into something.
Let's get a
quality.
Let's
not DC
let's get a quality and not a quantity.
Let's not DC this bitch.
Yeah, right.
Well, real.
Julian McMahon is that.
That's his name, Julian McMahon. He's Australian.
Yeah,
hello, mate. Nip it tuck.
Yeah, I think I was off the cast in the movie, bro. Come on.
That's horrible. I love your impersonations. Always.
Australia.
Anytime Abel does anything like impersonation-wise, I love it. It could be the worst thing ever.
Straight from the hip. All right, you definitely won't see him in Fast and the Furious 9. John Cena is officially in the next Fast and Furious movie, so.
Nice.
And it makes sense because The Rock actually won't be in the Fast and Furious 9, so it makes sense to put another up-and-coming... Well, it's weird to say that because everybody knows who John Cena is, but up-and-coming movie.
But you have
he's gonna have
millions of like wrestling
John Cena.
fans go from The Rock
that's what I'm saying.
John Cena is gonna be... he's gonna have invisible powers.
I don't know. I kind of like him as the cool dad.
Wait, so he's a villain?
I don't know. They don't know. His cast has been his role has been under wraps, so we don't know. But he is going to be in that movie.
He looks like younger Ernest. Have you seen that?
Wait, I thought this Hobbs and Shaw's supposed to be Fast 9.
No,
that's just Hobbs and
Shaw. Sorry, I'm
that
going
movie
to keep
looks
squeaking
great,
all day. Yeah, for sure. It comes out next month. Totally watching it.
So did they reveal like what he is in Suicide Squad?
No.
Oh, Idris Elba?
No, John Cena.
John Cena's in Suicide Squad?
They're thinking about it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, man, John Cena, and like I said, it's weird to say up-and-coming action star or movie star because
40.
he's so, well, not only that, but he's so well-known. He carried WWE for like 10 years or whatever.
More than 15.
Yeah, after the whole Rock and Stone.
He should only do Blockers stuff.
Blockers is so funny, dude. I did not expect that.
He was really funny in the movie.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
He was also
he was great. He was awesome.
Yeah, he was. He has very good comedic timing.
Yeah, he does.
Well, dude,
he's pretty good in Bumblebee.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, he is in Bumblebee. Dude, honestly, being a pro wrestler is a step down for being an actor.
Well, Batista now is like...
He has a movie coming out.
He has like 2 movies coming out.
Stewart.
Yeah.
And then, that looked funny. I want to watch
He has another one that is like a spy.
That's Stewart.
No, that's another one.
Oh, that's another one?
It's him and... what's that?
It's that little girl and... It's her to be a spy.
Yeah. It's from the same guys that did Spy with Melissa McCarthy or whatever, and I heard that was pretty good. Anyways, last piece of news: they are thinking about delaying Godzilla vs. King Kong, of course, by a couple months. So.
They have to.
Why do they have to?
Just after that's
it comes out next year, no?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Currently, Godzilla vs. King Kong is set to debut Friday, March 13th.
Because of story plots?
No, I don't think so. What I got here is because that same month that it's coming out, Pixar has a movie coming out, A Quiet Place 2, Mulan. They're all coming out within consecutive weeks. Oh, wow. So they're thinking about pushing it back to like September, October.
That's good, though. That's good for us, honestly.
Yeah, I would think with the success of A Quiet Place and... I don't know about Mulan, but
that's probably my favorite horror movie last
year. But
I
mean, I just think you have to push it back. But also too, like we were talking last week.
Never mind, I take it back.
Yeah, we were talking last week how like after Godzilla, now we have the second one, or Godzilla vs. Kong. It's like that's too.
Have you guys seen Kong Skull Island?
No.
That movie sucks. It's
really
fucking terrible.
We talked about it last week.
No, I hate it. I hate that movie. I hate it.
Have you seen the Godzilla from 2014?
No.
It's a good one.
I still can't find it.
I do want to watch that though.
I found it's on Redbox.
Nobody does.
Kong Skull Island.
I do Redbox all the time. Redbox. You know what I watched at Redbox? Batman versus Ninja Turtles.
I guess we're going to Redbox.
Okay, we'll go to Redbox. Kong Skull Island is probably the worst movie I've seen in a long time.
Really? Even Loki in it and everything?
And Samuel L. Jackson.
No, okay.
And John Goodman.
The acting is very good. It is the writing that is terrible.
Really?
The acting is very good. There's a lot of good actors.
And CJ like Predator, or The Predator.
You know what? That movie gets better the more I watch it. I watched it a couple times. That movie, it gets better. I liked it at first just because I'm a fan.
Of course, you're gonna like it because you're a fan.
I admit that I am a fanboy. I didn't like sour on it, but I was like, maybe it's not as good as I think. I love it now again. Oh. I watched it again the other day. It gets better each time I watch it.
I'm an alcoholic, and I tried vodka for the first time ever, and I really like it. It's really great.
It is? Okay. I do want to address this real quick. There was some confusion when we did the Predator show. How Will, that guy died, the head black dude.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
How he died. Spoiler. You watched the Predator.
Months ago, yeah.
Yeah, I still don't know how he died.
The coolest fucking way possible. It just happens really fast and you miss it. That's what I'm saying. The little things in this movie make it better. Okay, he had the cannon on his shoulder, right? The cannon looks wherever you go. He looked back behind him. The cannon pointed at his head. He fucking blew his own head off with the cannon.
How did you know?
How fucking awesome is that?
Because
it happens
it's
really
like 2
fast.
seconds quick. Like,
it happens really fast.
It's blinky, you miss it.
I rewound it because I saw that like, what the fuck? Wait. So I pushed rewind.
Okay, so now I'm.
That was so.
No, this isn't Predator.
That is my favorite kill.
Okay, wait.
That became my favorite kill.
Okay, I understand that, but don't you think he was one of the leads in the movie, right? You would argue, right? You think that I could see that for at least 10 seconds?
It happens very quickly.
I'm with him. Like if it was just like,
what are you gonna put it in slow mo?
If it was Henchman 4, then yeah, that's cool.
Do you put it in slow motion and make
or not slow motion, but you see, you slow it down. You see him.
There's a lot going on.
You see his head explode and he like falls to the ground. Like oh shit! He shot his
My point is, go watch the movie again. You will like it more the second time.
I'm gonna watch Logan instead.
Fuck that.
All right. Okay.
You need to watch Logan.
How dare you for not watching
the best action movie of all time?
We'll get to that. Everybody, hold your horses.
Believe me not, sir.
Hold your mutant horses. All right. Give me a goddamn second.
Well, hurry up.
What does a mutant horse look like?
A unicorn.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Florida
news. A man in Valrico, Florida, is facing a manslaughter charge after deputies say he accidentally shot and killed a woman during an act of foreplay last Sunday. Andrew Shinawalt, 23, allegedly shot the woman in her upper body with his registered handgun around 12:30 p.m. The two were engaged in an act of foreplay involving the gun, deputies say.
Jesus.
Toy Story 4 hasn't even came out yet, and they're already doing fetishes of it. That is ridiculous.
Well, actually,
that movie's gonna make a lot of money now.
Well, actually, I read. I wanted to keep it PG, but foreplay is kind of like broad. What they're saying is he was like inserting his gun into her, and it went off.
Oh, bro.
What is more American than that? Honestly,
that's pretty American.
That's pretty fucking American.
Maybe if they was eating a hot dog.
What a way to go.
Yeah.
Before I came home, before we came to the show and everything, I saw another one. Florida man in Miami County was arrested for doing drugs, has the cocaine on his nose and says it isn't his.
Not mine.
No. You can see the video. He's like, "That's not mine. Like, why is it on your nose?" And he's like, "I don't know. It's not mine.
I fell in it.
My favorite excuse ever is they found cocaine and meth or whatever in this woman's purse, and she said that it fell. It came from the outside of the car and landed in her purse. That's fucking funny. That's
some meth dealing pigeon just
dropped it off.
Oh well.
Dark Phoenix 2019. 12th of the X-Men movies, if you count Deadpool, which I do. Directed by Simon Kinberg. This is his first directing job. He did write some other X-Men movies, which we'll get into. But yeah, this is his directorial debut. Starring James McAvoy as Charles Xavier, Michael Fassbender as Magneto, Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique, Nicholas Hoult as Beast, Sophie Turner as Phoenix, Ty Sheridan as Cyclops, and Jessica Chastain as Vuk.
Vuk?
Vuk. V-U-K.
Oh, Vuk.
Has a B-.
That's a lot less cool.
Yeah. Has a B- cinema score, the lowest ever for an X-Men movie. The box office, it finished second behind The Secret Life of Pets. Secret Life of Pets was estimated at 47.1, while Dark Phoenix earned 33, the lowest opening ever for an X-Men movie.
Dog shit!
And they're projecting that Dark Phoenix, after it's all said and done, worldwide box office, advertisement, the whole thing, it's going to lose over $100 million. So,
nice.
With all that being said, CJ, what was the synopsis?
Oh shit. Okay, so they go to space and they find a cloud that fucking Sansa sucks into her, and they go to Earth, and she's really angry, and she hijinks it too.
Hijinks ensue.
Okay.
Hey, that's pretty good.
All right, we're going to go around the table.
Well, the next part was a spoiler. I don't want to give it.
So going around the table, we're going to go around and give me a couple words.
Go fuck yourself if you haven't seen the movie. You son of a bitch.
Of what you thought of the movie. Andres.
First.
No, you first.
Me first?
Yeah, so we can go this way.
I wonder what you think.
What I think? Just 2 words?
Yeah, or a couple words. Or a few words.
Fucking awful.
Okay.
I liked it.
Oh my god, of course.
Tragically disappointing.
Come on.
Wait, hold on, go back.
We should probably...
Barker took one.
I'm sorry.
Did you fart?
No. Let's see.
It's a good movie.
No, it's not a good movie.
Let me think of my phrase real quick. Let's go with stumble at the finish line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now that we've kind of put our cards on the table, spoilers. What specific? We'll start with CJ because I think he's the only one. What did you specifically like about the movie?
It was a good movie.
What specifically was like? Oh, that's cool.
All of it.
Oh my god.
It's a good movie. It's a cool
not.
story. I liked. Jean Grey was awesome. The acting was great.
I will say, I put in my notes, I prefer her to Jean Grey than
Femke.
Yeah.
Jansen Femke.
I thought they were both good.
Sophie Turner as
Sophie Turner was really
Sophie
good.
Turner in a better movie or a better franchise or whatever would have been the ultimate Jean Grey. Would have been the ultimate Jean Grey. Unfortunately.
Okay, there is one beef I had, I suppose.
Okay.
Maybe 2.
Okay. He had one fucking beef with this movie.
I had 2.
Okay. Since basically there's 3 of us that kind of were hoping for more, didn't like it or whatever, and one person that liked it. We're gonna start here. Like I said, what is one thing that you were like? Okay, so you said Sophie Turner, right?
Yeah, she's awesome.
Okay, Andres, what's one thing that you did not like about the movie?
Dude, the special effects are fucking awful, and there's nothing driving the plot. They're just everywhere, dude. They should have split that movie into 2, but they can't.
Well, we'll get into that here in a little bit. What's something that you disliked?
No, I'm gonna talk about something I actually liked.
Well, I'm gonna invert it.
Oh, you're gonna invert it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, just the whole storyline. I just felt like for a 2-hour movie, it didn't really.
And it's not even it's like an hour 45.
It didn't go anywhere.
It didn't. Thank you. Fuck.
Like it just. I get that we're trying to talk about the Dark Phoenix like storyline and everything but there was nothing on that I was like, oh my god, like we knew that what was gonna happen, everything comic wise, but at the end of it, it's just like, wow, I just was really disappointed because it just didn't really. It didn't go from comic book, which was the storyline in the comics was really, really awesome and everything, to this was just like, wow, did you guys go to Dollar General to get this story?
Dude, and the thing,
okay, well, hold on. Now it's my turn. You said you get your main thing.
Fine.
Here's my thing. My thing that I didn't like about this movie is they made Professor, to me, this movie completely wiped out all the goodwill that Professor X had. Yeah. They made him such a douchebag, and they made him take the fall for everything, and like they made him seem like he was doing things out of nefarious reasons or whatever, like completely mischaracterized.
They kind of bring it back a little bit.
Professor X, kinda, but like I do still think that this is a better movie than The Last Stand, as far as like the Dark Phoenix thing.
No way, bro.
As far as the Dark...
No, because Last Stand it had the plot driving somewhere. This had nothing.
Yes, but the Dark Phoenix in that movie was the plot beat. That it wasn't the main force.
Which it didn't make it good, but I'm saying it was a better way than this fucking crap.
No, because Dark Phoenix in this movie is the movie. Whether it went anywhere or whatever, like the main driving force in that movie.
What do you mean by it didn't go anywhere?
The movie it didn't go nowhere.
That means nothing. Say what that means.
Okay, well, let me finish my thing, and then we'll go around. Okay, so yeah, basically, to me, it just seemed like whatever. To me, Charles Xavier the entire time is trying to push mutant kind and humankind to live together, but then like what he did to Jean Grey all of a sudden is
it's kind of like
makes him an ass. Yeah. So like to me, just like it's particularly with James McAvoy in the 3 previous movies. To me, it just like outdid everything, like just erased everything he did. So now that we said that, what is one thing you disliked about it? Starting with you.
I have 2 things. They're kind of, but they're not really even like that big of a deal. The one thing I would have changed is
2 things.
I would have focused a little bit more on the actual alien race. We didn't learn hardly anything about them. Yeah. Like hardly anything. We didn't even get to really see one in its full flesh in light. That would have been cool to see. Another thing is, they really tried hard to make it seem like, or well, at least Professor X did, and did the movie to an extent, that Dark Phoenix is not Jean Grey. Like they are not, you know what I mean? They're separate characters, not separate characters, but she's not acting like herself. Right. They should have done more to distinguish that. I think a little bit, like rather than just the fucking color through her face and shit like that. They should have. I wish they would have given her like a personality tick or something, just to kind of signal that, give us more of a distinct signal that we're supposed to think of it as a different character. Yeah, that would have been nice. But
and actually, and the only reason I got these off the back of my hand right now, or the top of my head, I should say, is because I was watching X3 today as the day was going on. They did do a better job of letting you know when it was and when it wasn't the Dark Phoenix and The Last Stand. Like that is the one thing I like about that movie, as far as like the comparison between the Phoenixes. Okay, what is one thing you liked about this movie?
That's a big one thing.
Or what is one thing that was like okay, like fine?
Probably I think the train scene was pretty cool.
That was cool.
That was a cool scene. But
it was kind of confusing though.
This movie had complete garbage.
That part actually kind of confused me because for a split second, there's nobody on top of the train. Then the next second, there's a bunch of people on top of the train being shot. That was kind of weird.
No, but he brought this up too. That the dumb part was like when the military guys were like, "Oh, they're not mutants." How the fuck do you know that? And he's like, in a world where there's mutants, you're not gonna know if these are mutants.
I had pushback to that right away because it's cutting in and out. And it's like they're not mutants, and I'm like, okay,
that guy's mutant power could be.
Yeah, in this universe where all you know is mutants and you don't know aliens yet, how the fuck do you know that's not a mutant? You know what I mean?
This mutant is very strong. It's like, well, this alien's really strong, so how can you differentiate between this mutant and this alien?
Wait,
this one mutant.
This person is invincible to bullets.
Wait,
this mutant ability is
alien.
The aliens that came down, they were shapeshifters. Are these the Sentinels that were in Days of Future Past?
No, Sentinels are robots.
They were made by the government.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. So what is one thing that you liked about the movie? or something. Or
it's not that bad.
No, this is an op. Whatever. Fuck off.
Yeah. No. I'm just saying, like,
awful.
let me say something. Like, it's hard for me to say like something I liked about it, but I think the one thing that I did appreciate from this is that they Kinberg actually kind of put in a couple of other iconic X-Men in there. And I mean, if you remember from the fire scene or the fire pit scene, the dance scene and everything, there was Dazzler, you know. And that was a really cool thing because Dazzler was one of the most iconic ones back in the 80s and everything. And then with...
I've never heard of this iconic Superman.
You never heard of
Dazzler?
No.
Yeah, she's like
a pop music person and yeah. Okay. Anyway, and then with Magneto's kind of crew and everything that you see a couple of other ones. I can't think of the names off the top of my head right now. I kind of look back on it and everything. But you kind of see a little bit more. I wish there could have been a lot more, but at least they didn't centralize it just to the X-Men crew. It was a couple others. And the other ones, like, we did see a ton of others, you know, like,
there's so many,
from, like, Apocalypse, and...
balls down here.
God, she was in the animated series. She had the yellow coat, with the...
Oh, Jubilee?
Jubilee, yeah.
She was in Apocalypse.
Yeah, she was in Apocalypse, but, like, the other directors actually kind of put more X-Men out there and everything that, so you can kind of see it. This one only kind of put like 3 or 4.
Bro, where the fuck is Gambit?
He was supposed to have his own movie, then the Disney bought the mounts. Is never going to happen. Anyways, one thing I liked about this movie is...
We can have it now.
I did like how they played Jean Grey's backstory. I did like that...
I actually laughed at it a little bit.
Jesus.
But I did like that as far as like...
No, it just made me think whenever we need a tragedy, car crash.
Yeah, it is always a car crash, yeah.
Every time.
Always. But I do like how it was triggered like by her like quiet and then like, you know, all that whole thing, and then her dad's a complete coward. It's like I can't control her. So, you know, and then Professor X like blocks that out of her memory, so then Phoenix is kind of triggered by the solar rays and all that. I like that part. I do like that part.
I would just like a little more creativity, like they're caught in an elevator and it falls to the ground or something. Which is pretty violent, actually.
No, I like this because if it was any other kind of accident, then it's not her fault.
Yeah.
No, she cuts the wires with her mind or something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, dude, anything is going to be a trope then. And I've seen an elevator fall.
Well, it makes something.
I've seen somebody fall asleep at the wheel and...
Maybe a fucking bag of golf clubs explodes and punches one in the face.
With the 9-iron, just...
Maybe.
Now you're going Final Destination style and... Yeah.
But I'm just saying, whenever you need a tragedy real quick, die. Hey, let's dial up some sadness real fast.
One thing I did not see coming was Raven dying.
Actually,
I did not see that.
That was one thing that I caught right away. Is that was in the trailer, not her necessarily being spiked, but like the lead up, and then they actually show her like flying back. You totally knew she was gonna die.
I didn't.
I didn't see that coming.
You're the only person here who knew.
I thought Cyclops was gonna die before Raven died.
I wish that fucking pussy would have died. Right?
Well, I like Cyclops.
Andres has so much animosity to this movie.
I know.
I was sitting right in the movie theater.
Bro, because
Andres is made of extremes.
You have X-Men First Class. You have Days of Future Past. Apocalypse, it was alright.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Apocalypse was alright.
You're in the middle.
Apocalypse, I liked it, but it wasn't the greatest. But and then you end on this fucking dog shit.
But I literally sat right next to him, and the whole time I heard nothing. Like he, a couple times, like he asked questions and everything. But there's not time he was just like, no, fuck that. Like no. And now he's just like going off right now.
Bro, that movie. Oh my fucking God.
Honestly, like, so I forget who asked me what'd you think, and the first thing that I can think of was. So yeah, I have this down. Olivia Munn said that this was supposed to be a 2-movie thing, which to me makes sense because you can't just tell the story of the Phoenix in one movie, and that's the mistake that this movie did and the mistake that The Last Stand did.
How so? Why do you think that?
Because I don't think there's enough for me to not care, but like I think.
But in what way? Do you think they need a movie to set her up as the Phoenix?
Yeah, no.
You like kind of like an Endgame Infinity War Endgame situation
ends on
where like it ends on a cliffhanger where you build her up as this villain because In the comics,
it's too much to ask to be hero villain.
It took years for
in the comics. It took years to them to develop Dark Phoenix. So like it's a thing that takes time.
That makes sense.
So to me, and I said that backstory to say this. To me, what this felt like is we're gonna try to make either 2 movies or we're gonna try to make the best that we can.
Good luck.
And what ended up happening is Disney bought them out, and then they're like, we're just gotta have something that is closure, and that's why they did all those reshoots. That's what the movie ended up costing like $300 million or whatever because of all the reshoots. So when they found out that Disney was buying, I don't think they cared anymore, and that's why it got delayed.
It's hard to blame them.
It got delayed like 3 or 4 times. You know, it got pushed back almost a year and a half. So ultimately, I think they were trying. I don't think they were trying to end this X-Men saga in the way they did, but it's Disney buying them out, and they were just like, it's not our problem.
It's the last 3 episodes of Arrested Development.
Exactly. Yeah.
You could kind of tell, like, with the movie, they're just like, let's just get it done. Let's just get it over with. Nobody cares anymore.
Nobody cares about that.
I fucking cared.
Like, we're gonna cross over to Disney. We're gonna cross over to Disney, and we're gonna start over again, like just a clean slate, you know. So it's just like, it's like, why put your time and effort into a movie that's not gonna really do shit? Like after a while, you just phone it in.
This movie didn't do shit.
You just fucking phone it in. Yeah.
I will say the ending was kind of weird for me.
Well, are you talking about the whole train thing? Or the
no, just the way it ended. I didn't know she
was her dying
necessary? I don't know enough about the lore to be upset about it. But yeah, I didn't know she transformed into a phoenix, a literal phoenix, and remained that. I didn't know that was supposed to happen.
Also, she's not really dead.
No, she's not dead.
Nobody's ever.
She
really
evolved
dead.
into
this
whatever.
like sentient kind of thing.
Yeah.
And actually, it's funny you say the ending and. When I mean the ending,
I like Jean Grey, the character.
I like her as a character too. Like she's a very interesting character.
Back,
a character that can match minds with Professor X. Like I've always appreciated.
And just the fact that she's the most powerful X-Men. That's cool as fuck.
Probably the most powerful character in the Marvel ever.
Probably.
She was essentially a god.
Yeah, she's a god. Yeah.
At the end of that train scene, she thought things and they happened. So
another thing is that this movie kind of falls into, and I know this is Fox Marvel, but like the Jessica Chastain's character is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like that.
That's what I'm saying. I had kind of an issue with
the villain was awful.
Yeah.
They should have done more with that.
That's probably the worst villain in any Marvel movie, Fox, whatever that I.
Well, and also too, like
Apocalypse.
No, Apocalypse is better than that.
But at least he had a backstory. Like, with Jessica Chastain,
there's nothing.
We didn't even know her name. We didn't know, like, where the fuck what exactly she was doing. They kind of gave us, like, just, that's it.
I agree.
Which is why that second movie...
Like, because in the comics, it was, like, the Shi'ar Empire, right?
Yeah.
I would have even liked...
Heard none of that. Well, you heard, like, one guy,
Homeworld, they're like, we gotta bring...
I would have even
like the guy's name, or, like, the Empire, like, is this all that's left of the
Master...
Dakar Empire? And that's it. But, like, you don't even understand, like, what she's trying to do with everything, you know? It's just... It was one of those, like, placeholder villains.
Well, you go.
Well, I was just gonna say, even, like, maybe you do, like, a little prelude... where like a planet blows up or something.
Well,
exactly.
Even a little something.
Can't even do that fucking
because you had no idea. You had no point of reference for when
the plan for that originally with the 2 movies was that she was Leandra, who was the princess queen or the queen of these people, and she was following this thing, and then she was gonna be grandiose over the top. Cool, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And instead we got, and I never got the sense that her character was above any other character. Like. I always thought, like, why does she get it and not the black character? Like, why doesn't he... Like, he's been on Earth longer, you know what I mean? So why... So, yeah, the villain to me was just, like, you could have really put anybody there and it wouldn't matter, you know, so...
Speaking of villains...
This movie... Okay, hold on. This movie was not better than Last Stand, though.
I said as far as dealing with the Dark Phoenix, it was better. Yeah. Okay, and another thing that pushed this movie back a while is they actually had to change the ending, the complete ending. Of the fight in the train. This fight actually took place on a plane or on a spaceship, but they said that it looked too much like Captain Marvel's ending, and they had to redo the entire thing. Nice. So they moved it from a spaceship to a train.
What a long train ride too. That train was long.
Well, then like they even said like at the end, she was like she would like blink and these people like turn to dust, like which kind of seemed like Endgame and everything like that. So they kind of did it to her, like she was actually like touching them and turning them into like fragments, not dust.
The first 10 minutes of the movie when they first go to space and that basketball court opens, bro. Did you see that CGI?
Andres did point that out right away. I don't know if I looked down or I blinked or something, but that first where they kind of decide that they're going up to space. And the basketball court opens. Andres like elbows me and he's like, "Did you see that?" And I'm like, "No, what did I miss? Like an Easter egg or something?" He's like, "No, that CGI was trash." Dude, I guess when they open up the
that CGI was like 80s shit, bro. That was fucking.
I don't even pay attention to this.
Of course you don't.
Give a shit.
Because you think this movie's good, so of course you didn't. Pay attention.
I mean, even then people said that in like about Infinity War. And I'm like, I didn't even notice. I just don't.
There wasn't any bad CGI.
I don't notice shitty CGI. I don't really care.
Do you see the CGI in Justice
I feel like
I pay attention to the writing.
I feel like the guy that had the dreads that like he was like whipping around.
That was weird.
That CGI was kind of trash.
No, that was weird. Like his power was he has
really
he has
rope like
hair.
I know people in real life that have rope like dreads.
That was weird.
You can tell Beast Boy's on strings too, just like fucking like this.
Yeah.
Let's see. You know what I was kind of disappointed at, and it kind of goes into I think the fact that they just didn't care anymore was Apocalypse ended with the fact that Quicksilver was eventually going to confront Magneto and tell him that was his dad. Not a single thing that we get.
He wasn't even like really in it.
No, he goes to attack Jean Grey. He falls. He like tumbles. I guess we were supposed to get the impression they got fucked up and then nothing.
No, he wasn't in there after that.
Yes, he was. They hauled him away into.
But he wasn't in the rest of the movie. Like that was it.
That was it. Yeah.
The only thing at the end of the movie we get is
he's hurt.
I think he had like a total like 3 sentences.
Okay.
One of the coolest characters.
Okay, exactly. And like the two other like times that you see him in Days of Future Past and Apocalypse, he has that amazing. That's why we watch the movies like again and again because we wanted to watch that scene. And there's nothing. He did nothing. Like that whole like when Jean Grey was going crazy at her dad's house. That was what, like 20 seconds? Yeah. They did a whole like 2 minutes for like Apocalypse. I didn't know that.
I will say the scene in Days of Future Past when he's in the kitchen, like that is one of the best scenes.
And when he saves all the kids from the
Apocalypse same way too. Yeah. And this one maybe total screen time of maybe like 2 minutes.
And that's not just.
But I think that's necessary.
I don't think so.
This is why I hate it because
you have to put.
You didn't showcase the X-Men. You just showcased 5 people. That's
you have to put Jean Grey above Quicksilver, right? You have to do that, and you do that by she took a thing, and put in your head the physics of that. He's moving at a speed that you can't comprehend.
No, I understand that. And you do that. That's fine. But to me, Quick Flash has the healing factors or what did I say?
Flash.
Oh. Well, he has the healing factors of the Flash. Flash breaks a bone, he's back in like 5 minutes.
I did not know that.
You know what
Flash
I mean?
has a healing factor?
Yeah, like he's
okay, but the layman obviously doesn't know.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like you put him over, like in wrestling terms, right? You put somebody over somebody else for them to be the popular person. You can do that, but I think you don't take one of the cooler characters and the more popular characters for the entire.
But he was the only one that couldn't even come close to matching it.
At least you do like a song cinematography, like he does like crazy shit, and at the end, like she's just like.
But then again,
it's not a lot of crazy shit. You rewrite it.
But then again, I see why they don't do that scene again because that would have been the third time to do that scene.
Yeah.
But there still should have been
like
more.
Everybody likes that scene. Like
but
those are the 2 iconic scenes in those 2 things.
I'm okay with them not having that scene. That's not my issue with what they did with Quicksilver. My issue with what they did with Quicksilver is having him movie for 5 minutes. Basically.
Yeah. You put a Nightcrawler above Quicksilver.
He was a great
dude. That scene where he went nuts, that was pretty cool.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I will say, I wish it would have stayed on a spaceship. But what they did with the train scene, a lot of the killings, the way that Magneto killed a lot of those people,
that was cool. I love that. Actually,
that was fucking cool.
That was dope.
I did like that.
Or like when the
train scene wasn't that bad.
No, that's the best part of the movie. I thought
it was poorly edited. I thought.
I did.
No,
yeah.
But the actual fighting on it was actually.
It was a cool scene.
Whenever he lifted up all those guns and he shot, dude, that was pretty cool.
Or when speaking of Nightcrawler, when he picked up when he flashed to the front of the train.
And
just drops her and she gets hit by the train. That was fucking. Awesome.
And then when he puts his tail through that dude's neck, that was pretty dope.
Which is the one I think Magneto was controlling somebody's like. Arm or whatever, and they had a piece of metal, and he just like drove it through his neck. I thought that was pretty cool. What was another one? Yeah, just some pretty badass kills on that. I think Magneto was
awful.
It was awful. I thought he was great.
I don't know about awful and I don't know about great. I think more in the middle. I think because
what did you want from him?
I think he did his job. Done.
Which means
he was supposed to be in the movie. That was like that villain that was trying to get retribution, and he's always going to be a villain. But then he retributed himself again.
But I think
he did that in First Class, kind of. He did that in Apocalypse, kind of, and now he's doing it again.
But that's the thing. I think
he didn't do good. He didn't do
now
bad.
He falls into, and the reason is now he falls into a pigeonhole. As far as like he's always that one guy, and then it's like, oh, never mind. You know what I mean? And the worst, and I think this is my biggest beef with Apocalypse is that I understand his family died, and I get all that, but like. At the end, and I watched all the X-Men movies to kind of get to kind of gauge Phoenix and stuff.
That's a good point.
It's in Apocalypse, he's like
he does the same exact thing.
He killed my family or whatever, and then last second he's like, no, I betrayed them, like real easy, and I'm like, okay, man. The best he did it was in Days of Future Past, like because he was down, he was defeated, but never once was he like, I'm wrong, or like, no, you're right, like. I'm having second thoughts. The only reason he retreated is because they beat him. Yeah. Where in Apocalypse and in this one, it's kind of like, no, you guys are right. I'm sorry. And it's like...
He never really did that.
Is he even a villain?
Well, and I never got the feeling from him in this movie. Because in all the other movies, I feel like he's a villain. But Professor X and Magneto have such a respect for each other that they're not willing to like kill each other. Because... And like I said, I nerded out this weekend, and even today watching all the X-Men movies. There's a scene in The Last Stand where his right-hand man is the guy that turns into fire. Yeah. Magneto's right-hand man.
Pyro, it is Pyro. And he was like, if you would have given me the chance, I would have killed him. And then he just stops in his tracks, and he's like, Charles Xavier did more for mutants than you can ever imagine. It's just unfortunate that he had to die for us to live our dream. So, like, there's a dynamic there that it's
It's that they're willing to compete against each other because they have dueling.
Well, they have the same.
Ideals.
They have the same interests.
They have the same,
and they're approaching it differently.
But yes. But
they have the same end game, but they're trying to get through it in different ways.
They're on the same side of the coin, fighting.
Magneto's trying to kill people,
and I don't think that dynamic lived up to what it can be, what it should have done in the last X-Men movie. Like
the best way they did that actually is in Last Stand.
Days of Future Past, when Mystique takes off his helmet, like. He's all yours, Charles. And Duke could have killed him right there, but like was like, hey, like we're gonna get gonna get through this.
No, that little moment you just said where he turns around on Pyro, it says that's the best example.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they're best friends. Though.
Exemplification of that.
Yeah. And so. Yeah, so and let me write that down.
And they play like the cool chess matches and shit like that.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Especially
like,
at the end too.
Ultimately, they always have to come back and be friends because they are.
Well, they are
because they have the, like I said, have the same. They see the finish line, and they want mutants to be either left alone or being integrated with human.
But that's the best analogy. They both are playing chess against each other, like.
Not against each other, with each other.
Well, no, but Charles is trying to win for this, and Magneto is trying to win for this. They're both going to the same. Well, they're both playing each other and everything to get to that end goal and everything.
Well, the reason why, and this is going back to comics. The reason why the X-Men were such a hit, not because like honestly. Just superheroes with superpowers, whatever, but they're an allegory for something, right? So the X-Men are an allegory for the people that feel left out. And at the time, it was, whether you were a minority, a homosexual, whatever, you felt something with the X-Men, right? So, like, they were the outcasts, right? So then I've read a lot where they say that the reason why, and I don't know if this was Stan Lee's point of reference or whatever it might have been, but the two dueling clans, I guess you could say, of the mutants were Magneto and Professor X. You have your Martin Luther King, and then you have your Malcolm X. Yep. You're driving to the same goal, but through different means.
Malcolm X
and two people who definitely respected each other.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They just had different philosophies on how to reach their goal.
One through violence, one through talking.
Yeah. So like that's always the allegory that I go back to, because I don't know if it was on purpose, but it felt like that very much for the 1960s.
I hope it was on purpose. That's a great way to do that. Yeah.
In their own minds, one is looking for peace and one's looking for justice.
Well, and then in First Class, when
they have different
when
ideas
he
about
got
what
shot in
that
the back, and he's like, friend, like, you know, we have the same goal, and Professor X is like, no, friend, I don't think we do, like, because they don't see it.
They do though.
Yeah, they do, but he doesn't see it. Like, he sees it like we can live with humans, while Magneto's like, you see what they were trying to do to us on the beach. Like, we saved their asses, and now they're trying to kill us. Like, what the fuck is that? So
it's tough to. I don't know.
It's tough. It's you can relate with the pacifist in me can relate with Professor X, but like we know how shitty humans can be. So Magneto is like totally like.
I would probably if I was in that. I would probably
humans are fucking
Team Magneto.
Dude, humans are fucking awful.
Yeah.
I would totally be Team Magneto.
I wish I was a mutant.
That's whatever though.
So I guess that's
fuck humans.
Anything
fuck
else?
Humans. Full question.
Anything else that kind of sticks out from Dark Phoenix that you guys kind of want to talk about?
Besides the garbage.
Well, it'll be great when they do it the third time in the MCU.
That's probably
wait. So in the MCU they have the right to call them the X-Men, right?
Now they do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I just want to. I hope that the MCU can find a way to get him in there as fast as possible.
Dude, all I want is Avengers versus X-Men. Give me that, and I can die happy.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's just to me. They're
gonna take their time to do it though, for sure.
To me, this second wave of X-Men movies were so great. And Apocalypse, I have my issues with that movie, particularly the villain. Like, Apocalypse is like Apocalypse, and it didn't live up to me. But you take everything else, it was okay. It was. I'll watch it. I'll rewatch it. This one, man, and to me, I think, and I understand corporate monopolies and your buyout, whatever. I get that, but I still feel like you should have done your due diligence and try to end as best you can. That's why I felt a little disappointed.
Probably did though.
But I mean, they went in there for reshoots and whatever, and I think they were just trying to.
What would you have done different in their shoes?
I think it was a good idea to go to the 2-movie route.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can't do that.
But if you can,
take that away from you. Now what do you do?
Okay, so now I'm down to one movie. This movie was an hour 45. You can extend this movie for 20, 30 more minutes. I think you delve better into building and you talked about it, the difference between Jean Grey and the Dark Phoenix. We get a little bit of that when she's like crying, she's in the rain, like that's not her.
Enough.
But not enough. You build that. You build a villain. You build a villain where I give a fuck why they're chasing this thing. Never once did I get a reason why they're chasing. Well, they said that they destroyed their planet, right? But what's their ultimate end game? I know they're trying to restart Earth with their power, but I just never gave a fuck, right?
And that's why Killmonger is such a good villain.
Yeah, because you gave a fuck. And then ultimately, I think you have to end this movie, if you know this is the last movie, somewhere where Magneto and Charles Xavier end in a place where you're hinted at there's going to be more, rather than just playing chess at the end of the movie kind of thing.
But there is no more.
But we don't know that. Like,
we do know that.
As a casual fan, you have to play it for the bigger fan, right? You have to leave it at where there's not necessarily, oh, here's the next thread or whatever, but like, oh, here's House of M. You just
build this up in your imagination.
Yes, like, and that's the thing I think that's missing in movies in general today is like everything has to be spelled out for you.
That's probably true.
Yeah, so just leave it at a point where like there, you know.
But it's up to anybody's own interpretation. The problem with doing that is it builds expectations, and
who cares?
A lot of
that's Disney's fault now. Fox is just like, fuck it.
But a lot of people do. And
there's a lot of movies that end that way.
Then they're going to make their petitions, and nobody's going to fucking listen to them.
Somebody is starting to listen to petitions, as we discussed.
We talked about petitions last week, and
Sonic, with Sonic the Hedgehog, one petition?
Yeah.
That sets a precedent.
Oh, who wants the last one? I don't want it.
Oh, I'm good.
It sets a precedent.
That's you, Parker.
Alright.
He's like, you twisted my hand.
So yeah, it sets up very bad precedent as far as petitions, but I don't know, man. It's just and
so make it a little bit longer.
Yeah,
give more credence to the villain.
Yeah, and more credence to Jean Grey. As far as I give her more,
and put a little bit more, like even just quick cameos of more X-Men.
Dude, I hope she's casted as.
There are literally millions in these comic series. And
what you're asking is
subtle, not
annoying.
Like even in the scene, even in the scene when
think about it from
even when the kids were like, did she kill Mystique? You know, you could have had like fucking Lizard Man right there. Like
think about it from a producer standpoint.
But I don't think before you finish yours, I don't think that's a make or break for the movie.
Correct.
Yeah, like I'm looking more to see what's gonna make me emotionally connected to these characters.
Okay, and I'm gonna spend who knows how much CGI making one little 10-second spot for some little character that I'm not gonna give a shit about.
Why does CGI cost so much?
That's another show.
But okay, and you're gonna do that 12 times throughout the movie to build a cast of characters you're not gonna give a shit about, and not only that, there's no sequels gonna be made, but if there were, little pieces of shit like you would go back. He didn't look like that in the fucking other one. Dude, why the fuck would I do that?
Why is he from 1920? Yeah, you didn't roll the dice. Yeah.
First off, we CGI your voice into this whole podcast.
You are the reason. We can do that. Are the reason they don't do shit.
No,
we're the reason.
Okay, then call it.
Are we the reason? Full question.
Call it X group, not X Men. Like I want a little bit more X people out there. I want more mutants.
Yeah, fuck your group.
You're gonna show me maybe 7.
That's more.
Even with the original,
it's more than you deserve.
Even with the original cast,
it's more than you deserve.
No, I think the best that you were gonna get with that is Apocalypse. As far as like they're just random kids walking around. You see cameos. Jubilee played no role in that movie, but you see her. So
you got a lot.
But
be grateful.
But
for what you got.
But I don't think that's a make or break thing of the movie. Like I don't think if we see,
there's no reason for me to give you that.
I don't think if we see Multiple Man in there, I'm like, this is my favorite.
But I want to see Multiple Man. You never saw Multiple Man.
It's fine. It's just like that to me doesn't make the break the movie. To me, it's the writing. And the acting was fine.
Thank you. Good movies always come down to writing.
Or the CGI. Always. I do think a CGI makes or break a movie too. I think the way that just the connectivity between characters and me giving a shit what happens like that's a good movie. And I think it fell short. I gave a shit in Days of Future Past. I gave a shit in First Class. I even gave kind of a shit in Apocalypse. I didn't give a single shit in Dark
I can prove to you that writing is more important than CGI.
Well, that's not the argument, though.
I can.
Nobody cares, though. Okay, anyway.
I don't think you can see.
But this is
Transformers, Dark Knight, whatever the fuck.
Oh no,
dude! There's not one good Transformer movie.
Whatever the last one is, decent CGI. It's fine.
No. Writing is definitely better than, or more important than writing. Absolutely, it is.
Good movies always come down to writing. But
that wasn't my argument. My argument is you have to factor in all these things, and CGI.
Certainly, there are factors.
You do have to factor CGI in.
Certainly, but good writing.
In an X-Men movie, CGI has to be
as we see in Infinity War, people living like that.
It has to be a 50.
Good writing can overcome anything.
Yeah, good writing can overcome it, but it does. There are parts in movies that
good writing can overcome shitty acting. Good writing can overcome shitty directing.
No,
yes,
but
I think shitty acting sticks out. Like I know you guys like him, but Black Manta and Aquaman to me stood out as a bad.
And what happened? We all love Aquaman.
Oh, Black Manta was awful.
Yeah, but
we still all love Aquaman.
But
what does that tell you?
But he still sticks out though.
But
not in a way.
No, but he wasn't the main villain though. That's why.
Even if he was, it doesn't affect. It doesn't affect the fact that we love that movie.
No, if he was the main villain,
would we like him to be a good actor? Yes, of course.
If this is a pie chart, then writing probably takes the biggest part of it. Yes, because good writing will make me forgive. Like, that was bad CGI.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. But it's not the only piece of the.
That's true. You're right. That's. Correct.
I think it has to be a pretty good percentage of CGI and a pretty good percentage of writing.
It's not pretty good.
And then casting too.
Casting, writing, cinematography, directing, the whole thing.
Those are all slivers.
Dude, if you put Mr. Bean in Captain America Civil War or The Winter Soldier, I'm not watching it. Sorry.
You're lost. I wouldn't.
Mr. Bean as Captain America and Captain America Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I'm watching that.
Okay. We're moving on. What is the lasting legacy then of these X-Men movies for you? All of them, including Deadpool, the original X-Men, the Wolverine movies. What is the lasting legacy for you? How will you remember these movies?
Days of Future Past.
That's the one.
That's the one.
I will remember them very fondly.
I think so too. I think there's more good than bad ones. For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's more good than bad ones.
I think for me,
I call it a wash. There's a couple good ones, a couple bad ones.
I mean, is Deadpool really in it though?
Yeah, it has to be. To me, what?
Well, because in the second one there was the Juggernaut, and then the first one too was.
No, and then the second one they do the cameo where they open the door and they're.
And they're on there.
Yeah.
No, but to me, what would ultimately be the lasting legacy of these X-Men movies is the perfect casting they did for not all, but most of the characters. you will never ever think, no matter who they cast from here on out, and they could blow it out of the wall. You know, they can be fantastic. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.
Oh yeah.
Easily.
And yeah, done.
Patrick
Stewart.
is Professor X. Ian McKellen is fantastic.
And I would even say James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender as
absolutely as the young ones. The perfect casting.
Sophie Turner was
fantastic. Sophie Turner was fantastic. Deadpool.
I like young Scott, who the guy from
Ty Sheridan.
He's fantastic. Yeah, I think he's good.
He's in Ready Player One.
I wish he would have had more.
Character was a fucking pussy, though.
And even old Scott. Perfect casting. You're right.
No, I don't like...
James Marsden?
Yeah, I don't like
he was good.
He's good.
I like this.
He's good.
Obviously, we're omitting one of the bigger ones. Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds. Or I should say Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool.
Either war.
Yeah.
Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds.
Bro, dude.
We talked about this. Like, he was born Deadpool, and they wrote up, like,
bro,
you can't have that
if he's not Deadpool in the reboot, people will riot, bro.
No, he has to be.
No,
he's the only one that
and he's one that'll play it off like, oh, Disney, here we go.
Well, like I said, the only way you make even mention of it is like he walks into the movie and is like, oh, this is it, huh? Okay, and he just like continues to like whatever, you know. So obviously, amazing casting that they did in this movie, and that'll stick with me. You know, it was good acting, the whole thing. So yeah, that's kind of my thing. So,
I mean, I think for the most part, like the prominent X-Men were cast
very well.
Obviously, either like old Jean was okay. Sophie Turner as
I think
young
the superior.
Jean.
Sophie Turner is a better Jean. Yeah.
But I mean, God, Professor X as both people, awesome. Magneto, both people. Hugh Jackman. I mean, you can do no wrong anymore.
Dude, Michael Fassbender wouldn't be a bad Batman.
A little bit too old.
If they're going younger, yeah.
If they're going older, then yeah.
No, I agree. Okay, so then, gun to your head, they're only going to give you one pack of DVDs, and you can only watch these for the rest of your life. Are you getting the pack that has the original 3 X-Men, or are you getting the one that has these 4 with the younger cast?
Can I just get 3?
Wait,
no, you have to get all of them.
So is Days of Future Past on the old one or
the new one? Because it's driven by the original cast. So which one are you picking?
Wait, the Days of Future Past is in the new one?
No, Days of Future Past, yeah, but they're part of the new one.
I'll buy the 4-pack, but I'm throwing out Dark Phoenix.
I'd buy the 4-pack.
I'm going First Class.
But that's no slight on...
No, the other ones are really good.
Yeah.
I think that just speaks to how good the other ones were.
Now,
wait, so would Logan count as the new one?
First Class is wonderful.
We're talking X-Men movies.
So X2, Last Stand is the old ones, and then Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, and Dark Phoenix are the new
and First Class.
And First Class.
Oh, okay, and First Class.
Yeah. I'm taking the last 4 and throwing out Dark Phoenix.
Okay.
I love Days of Future Past, but I'm gonna take the old ones because like Last Stand sucked balls. Well, the first 2 weren't that bad. I mean,
as long as I
even suck balls.
Because wait, Wolverine, he's not in First Class, huh?
But
he's in Apocalypse.
Go back and watch that movie.
No.
It won't be as bad as
he's the main guy. He's the main guy in Days of Future Past. So where does he make that? What movie does he make that cameo in?
Oh, First Class.
Yeah.
When they were looking for mutants to join the team, and he's like, "Fuck you" or "Fuck off."
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he's in another one too. Because remember, they go back to the place where he was created, and he comes out.
That was Apocalypse.
No, that was Apocalypse. Yeah,
Apocalypse.
He's in Apocalypse.
He's been in every X-Men movie except for Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
And the director said, after they released him in Apocalypse and everything, that 9-year span and everything, he's been trying to figure out who the fuck he was. So there's no way he was actually like part of the X-Men during Dark Phoenix. Although with the whole love triangle would have been awesome, but think of Hugh Jackman and Sophie Turner.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Very awkward.
Because she's my age.
Yeah, she's like 23, 24.
Jackman's almost 50.
She's married to Joe Jonas.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, she's married to a Jonas brother?
Get the fuck out of here with Joe Jonas.
I would take the 4-pack as much as I like X2. X2 to me still,
X2 is really good.
X2 is one of the best comic book movies of all time, like bar none.
Easy.
But to me, Days of Future Past, I watched them over the weekend, and First Class, dude, those movies are
really good.
They're on that level on their own.
I'm just saying, like, so.
And there's not wrong opinion. You have to defend it.
But the new one has 4. The other one had 3. I think pound for pound, the old one hits it. I mean, Dark Phoenix. Blue. Apocalypse wasn't that great. At least the other one, Last Stand.
I don't mind Apocalypse.
There were just a couple things like why did he stand everyone's.
Apocalypse was good. It just wasn't great.
Yeah. I do like like's a strong word. There are things I like from Apocalypse, but
I like Apocalypse.
I liked it,
but it's not. I don't think it's dog shit. Like everybody's like, oh, it's the worst movie ever.
No.
I don't think so. Yeah.
This movie's the worst movie ever.
Well, we're leading to a really interesting conversation. We gonna rank them?
Huh? Yep, we're gonna rank them. So, did you guys actually rank them? Because I did.
Yep.
Did you? No.
I'll be doing it in real time.
You didn't tell me to, dickhead.
Yes, I did. I sent it on the group chat.
Yeah.
Oh wait, dude, someone had Dark Phoenix ahead of Deadpool 2.
And
We should find them and cut their head off.
That's just the example.
Yeah, it was just the example.
Some rando.
Yeah.
Like that one.
We should find them and cut their
fucking head. I'll
fucking
back up because I don't think that's right.
No, they had Deadpool 2 like third to last.
Is that worthy of cutting your head off?
Okay.
Yeah, you get a fucking.
Who wants to go
off.
first?
Kidding me?
I think.
And this didn't write them down.
Oh no, I'll go though.
Oh yeah, you're right. Deadpool 2 was number 9 and Dark Phoenix.
And I know who
8.
that is. That's Mark Bernard. And he said the reason it was that low is because they tried to do the same thing as Deadpool and it didn't work as well. So.
What?
Yeah.
Anyways, CJ, you go first.
Okay.
Backwards from worst to best.
Ah, Jesus. Okay, Logan is obviously the worst because I haven't seen it. I have to. It immediately goes to last. I am sorry. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
How are you on this podcast?
This is way harder. Wolverine Origins actually is terrible.
Do you not have him in
probably
order?
the Wolverine, huh?
Do you not have him in
No,
order?
I'm doing this in real time.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. And then I'm gonna say probably
Hold on, write this down. I want to see what his list actually.
Start over again. You said Logan first.
Logan. Logan's the worst one.
Okay.
Just by default, it has to be. And then Wolverine Origins. And then the Wolverine. And then probably X-Men, the first movie. And then probably Apocalypse. Then probably The Last Stand. Then Days of Future Past.
You haven't said Dark Phoenix yet before Days of Future Past. Oh
Are
my
you
god.
fucking kidding me?
This is
No.
This is his list.
No.
This is his list. This is his list.
Are you fucking?
Then Dark Phoenix. Then X2. Then Deadpool. Deadpool 2. First Class. In that order.
I know that's your list and that's your honest opinion.
That's
God
wrong.
damn it,
No, that's not even an opinion. That's just wrong.
All right, Andres, let me see yours.
Oh, let me see your.
No, that's wrong. Yo, you want me to take? Hold on.
You do the same thing. Pull up that picture and.
Hold on, he's
I do
got
the same thing.
Hey,
Wait, hold on. Okay, fine.
No, wait,
go.
time out. Before you do that, remember how he said, you didn't tell me to, but he knows that I sent that picture. Yeah, okay, go.
All right,
go.
dickhead. 12, Dark Phoenix. 11, Wolverine Origins.
Wait. Dark Phoenix, okay.
11, Wolverine Origins. Number 10, probably Last Stand. Number 9, The Wolverine. Number 8, it's tough.
It's not that tough. It's 7 and 8.
Number 8, probably X-Men. Number 7.
You would think, as wrong as I was, you would have a better idea of how.
Number 7, First Class. Number 6. Shit. Number 6.
Calm down.
Go for the joke. Attack.
This is really tough.
Murder.
Where's it at?
Oh wow.
You're ISIS. Live up to your name.
Number 6, probably Deadpool.
Osama bin Laden.
Number 5, Deadpool 2. Number 4, Apocalypse. Number 3. No, actually, switch Apocalypse with First Class, because that's blasphemous. So I'm at number 3, right?
Yeah.
Number 3,
Blasphemous.
Days of Future Past. Number 2.
This is very important. Get it right. Don't fuck it up.
Number 2. Have I said Deadpool 2 yet?
Yep.
Have I said Deadpool?
Yep.
Okay, so number 1's...
a lot of
okay, number 1's Logan.
Yeah.
And then number 2, what'd I miss?
Anyone else gonna point out the irony
X-Men
here?
2.
No
okay,
one
yeah,
else?
X2. Number 2 is X2.
Okay.
Okay. Barker, you're up.
All right. So actually, some of that actually put time and fucking effort into there.
I did.
No.
This dickhead did.
This is two days when he's like drinking.
I have a lot of confidence.
You had 48 hours. Abel put that 48 hours ago. He said, "Rank these motherfuckers." And I put time and effort.
You know what? I'm Rick in that episode where you split into different things. I know.
God, I know.
Okay. No. Okay. All right. So here we go. Number 12.
I question my shit.
Is obvious Dark Phoenix. Number 11. Last Stand. Number 10, The Wolverine. Yeah. Number 9, X-Men Origins, Wolverine. Number 8, Apocalypse. Number 7, First Class. Number 6, X-Men. Number 5, Deadpool 2. Number 4, X2. Number 3, Deadpool. Number 2, Futures Past. And of course, number 1, Logan.
You need to watch a Logan movie.
Mine, Wolverine Origins. Number 12, 11, Last Stand. Number 10, Dark Phoenix. Number 9, Apocalypse. Number 8, The Wolverine. Number 7, Deadpool 2. Number 6, X-Men. Number 5, First Class. Number 4, X2. 3, Days of Future Past. Number 2, Deadpool. Number 1, Logan.
So you and me, like, our top 3
Bro,
kind of
this
a
guy,
little skewed, but yeah.
This motherfucker had Dark Phoenix over Days of Future Past. That movie was a masterpiece, bro.
Days of Future Past.
Fucking
no,
God.
Days of Future Past
is an amazing movie.
Okay, anyways,
I really like Dark Phoenix, and I think Days of Future Past is pretty overrated.
Oh my God!
That's not to say it's a bad movie. I like it. It's fine.
If you know,
I just really like Dark Phoenix.
Anything about CJ is that he's a contrarian. So.
That's not because I'm a contrarian. It's because I genuinely think that.
Is he one of those guys that's like thinks it's cool to hate something?
And are you telling this guy that I'm a contrarian? What the? No,
you're a contrarian too.
No, wait,
contrarianism. Doesn't just embody contrarianism.
No.
Okay, all right.
Who more embodies contrarianism?
Okay, these real quick because we're already running long. How do you introduce him to the MCU?
The Snap.
With a movie.
I agree with the Snap. The Snap was done 3 times on Earth that caused some sort of radiation to those left behind. Those left behind caused some sort of mutation, so either they or their offspring have mutant kids, and that's how you start.
But they'd be too. But
then why doesn't it go to everyone?
Wait, but they'd be too young though.
It's not. I don't know.
Maybe people in like a certain radius.
They'd be too. No, if it's their offspring, they'd be too young for the MCU. Wouldn't they? Because they're all grown adults now. The X-Men.
The universe is gonna. It's gonna take a really long time.
But I mean, if the Snap radiates them, isn't that kind of like an unnatural way because they were born with the X gene? No, isn't that what an X-Men is? You're born with the X gene.
But those parents could have got the mutation, and then they pass it on.
But exactly, they'd be too young then.
Then you can build it from there.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna take a while.
Yeah, I mean, and they, according to everything, they don't have any. I just read something today. They don't have any plans in the near future for X-Men, so it could take a while, man.
Like 10 years, man.
Okay. We could all be 50 by the time this fucking gets.
I'd say they'll come in Ant-Man 3.
How's that?
You know how he's talking about like how time slows down and everything and then like different dimensions and everything. You can do that. Either that or Doctor Strange too.
Yeah.
Or what if they put it like in a way like Captain America fucked up the timeline because he didn't come back?
Yeah, something that could work too.
And they open up a whole different reality with like X-Men and all that.
I prefer I would prefer the idea that they're genetic or not genetically they're what's the word I'm looking for? They are instead of them coming from a different universe, they are homegrown in that universe. You know what I mean? Instead of them being because Andres said they're from a different timeline because Captain.
Oh
yeah. Yeah, I would rather them be
Me
like.
Too.
Homegrown as far as like something that happened, a cause and effect.
The best way, I don't like that as much. I would rather it not be an effect at all and just how it normally is supposed to be. It's just random natural selection, just random mutations. That's way cooler.
Well, in these X-Men movies, they said that the age of radiation, the age of atomic blast, that helped excel.
Okay.
The mutation.
Okay.
So
but it's still like. I like that better. Just the general idea rather than a single.
The Snap was radiation. It's all radiation.
I don't know though. I wouldn't be upset if they did that.
I'm still behind like the Axis kind of like storyline and everything where they come from a different dimension because I really like the kids that are working this. James McAvoy, Ty Sheridan, Sophie Turner. I really don't want them to reboot it.
Oh, they have to. Yeah.
I really want them to come over.
No, this is their swan song.
They can reboot everybody fucking else. I don't care. But I feel like those three are.
No, you can't. You can't. It's all or none.
Yeah, I know. But
why not though?
I would really like it.
Why can't you bring back McAvoy? Why?
Because it's over.
Unless Patrick Stewart wants to come back and do it and everything.
Then but it's okay. It's okay for Stewart though.
I would say
no, because Stewart is
the only. You guys might as well get used to the fact that the only person they're gonna do that with is Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I agree.
Because all the other ones are not driven by that person. Well, the only other person you could argue that drove those movies are Hugh Jackman, and he's done.
He's not doing it.
Yeah. The only person that drives those movies is Ryan Reynolds.
I don't. We as far as I'm concerned, we live in kind of a golden age of acting.
Oh yeah.
There's a shitload of good actors, and I'm here to discover more of
them. Dude. Every time I get on my Facebook, there's like 10 people that can play the Batman.
Fuck
10 people that can play the Wolverine.
There's nothing.
Like, there's one or two people that you're like, yeah, no.
There's nothing stopping us from knowing more actors. Yeah. I'm here for more actors.
Alrighty, so then before we...
If they get some badass no names, wouldn't you rather have that?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so real quick, ratings.
Dog shit.
I'll give it the titties.
Shit. Meh?
Imagine thing.
Oh wait, what's above dog shit?
Balls. I give it. We're making history here. We reviewed a lot of movies. This is my first balls.
Wow.
Yeah. Of course, because you never hate a movie, Abel.
It's not that I hate a movie. I just don't like to pile on people on the internet. Rah rah rah. I'm like, you can find good in any movie, and
That's not true.
And almost any movie.
Thank you.
And I would rather harp on that than like constantly shit on movies and just pile on with the internet group like, oh, this movie sucks. You know what? I like different things from different movies, and I would rather remember that than that. But it's just I like the X-Men movies a lot, and to me it's just the only reason I'm giving it balls is because I feel like they could have gone, their swan song could have been like above and beyond, and I just think they didn't stick the landing. So that's why. So, okay, so unless you're here, so what are we doing?
Getting the fuck out of here.
Okay, so we were going to do a 2-part show, but I knew we were going to talk a lot about X-Men, and we did. So next week, we're going to talk Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've seen it already. Redbox. It's...
Is it not on the DC app?
No, it's not.
Unfortunately,
it's not on anything. Not Netflix, not Hulu, not Roku, not fucking...
I randomly went to Walmart, and it was there. And
how old is that movie?
2 weeks.
Oh, it just came out?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay, so it's at Walmart.
Yeah,
okay.
no, well, it was at Walmart, but I dropped it off at Dillon's East.
It's not part of the continuity?
No. But it's fun.
Continuity?
No, it's fun.
Isn't there a movie next week that we're supposed to do too?
I kind of wanted a break, and it's Men in Black.
Nah, fuck
I would like to do that.
No. You can go watch it, but...
I don't want to do Men in Black.
Yeah, we don't have to.
Yeah, you can come back and give us a report.
You mean Thor 4?
Yeah, just a little, yeah, okay.
Alrighty, so what are the recommendations that you guys have been reading and watching that you guys want to tell the order?
I just started reading the Last Night on Earth or whatever. What is it?
Last Night on Earth.
Last Night on Earth. A couple pages in, pretty good.
What is that?
That it's supposed to be the last Batman story ever, and it's in the format where it's the DC Dark Label, so it's like really mature audiences.
Wow.
Or not really mature.
Is that the one that shows Batman Dong?
That's the same line, but not the same book. Yeah.
Wait.
And this is supposed to tell the last Batman.
This is the last story.
No. Like it's supposed to tell.
It's
like,
the
last
same. It's the same storyline.
It's kind of if Batman went along, this is his last story ever. It's not.
But that is the one that showed Batman's wiener.
No, different story.
Oh.
Okay, so this isn't the last.
Why don't you care about?
Wait, this isn't the last story ever, but it's the last story.
Andres,
I don't get it.
Do you care about Batman's wiener?
I'm new into comic books. I don't get it.
It's not nothing to have to do with comic books. It's writing as if it was the last story that Batman.
Oh, as if it was the last story.
Yeah, okay.
So it's the last story ever.
This train won't stop. There are no stops at this.
I've been reading a lot of Batman, just because I'm trying to get the Nightwing. But yeah, it's really good. Holy shit, I'm intrigued right now. There's something that really happened that I don't want to be a spoiler, but read it. Yeah, it's crazy.
And that's the Tom King run, the new run.
Yeah. Well, I just watched the pilot episode of Swamp Thing, and now knowing that there's not going to be a second season, it's kind of almost like a waste to. Well, I'm still gonna watch it, but I just feel like
say it's a waste.
Well, not a waste, but like
just think of it as a miniseries.
A miniseries, I guess. But I was kind of like after watching the pilot, I was like, oh, so.
Actually, I've heard a lot of good things.
Like no, it's really good. So like I get that the budget and everything that, but I'm just like fuck, man.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm. Well, for 10 more weeks, that's what I'm.
I wonder if it does such good.
Somebody's gonna have to pick it up.
Actually, one thing I forgot to mention is two different networks are looking to pick it up.
Yeah.
I prefer one over the other one. The CW or HBO.
HBO.
Doom Patrol. They said like when I was reading that article, like how their Titans was gonna be. People are gonna pick up Doom Patrol. What was it?
Doom Patrol was canceled too.
No, Fox and somebody else.
Here's gonna be the thing about HBO. It's gonna probably hinge on Watchmen.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Watch Watchmen. If you want Swamp Thing to be done right, watch Watchmen.
Is Watchmen out right
now? No, I
think it will be.
Watchmen, no, it's not on now. It's for another 2 or 3 months or so, but yeah.
Well, Outsiders is supposed to be coming up in July, so.
I don't know. Mine is Rocket Man, the story of Elton John, fucking fantastic. It's a good, I never get his name right.
Taron Egerton plays an amazing Elton John. He sings everything on there. It's amazing. Cool. If you guys have any suggestions or comments, let us know on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, where you can find the show there. You can find us personally on Facebook or Twitter.
At the Loza 45 _ between the and Loza.
At CJMFA.
At Saint _Able45.
Still ain't got one.
You can find us on Facebook. You can find the show. You can listen to the show actually. Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, Libsyn, Stitcher. Anywhere that it's a podcast aggregator, you guys can find us there. Buy some merch. We're going to have a sale next week. I'll put something on social media. Donate on Patreon. Donate on PayPal, nerdworldorder2@gmail.com. Any comments, let us know. Anything else before we head out?
No.
Okay. All right, guys. As always, obey the NWO.
Peace.
Bye.
Obey.